Pink Poodle Crafts, join the Poodle Pack. It's time to get creative and make you laugh. Make your own art today. Pink Poodle Crafts is the way.
What a good boy. Hey crafty family, it's me. And today I'm going to show you how to make this cute little Frankenstein. I lied and I said that part 2 was going to be how to make the card. There's going to be a little twist in it. We're going to make a couple little characters and then we're going to make the card. So this is going to be part 2 and this is going to be Frankenstein. And if I feel up to it, we can add another character in, or I'll do it in a part 3. But we're going to have a couple characters and I'm hoping to do them. The other character is going to be, as I drop things on the floor, is going to be this little mummy, which is really adorable. Little googly-eyed mummy that I made. So we'll start with getting through this. As I mentioned in the Happy Mail video, I've been feeling very short of breath lately. I'm going to the doctor tomorrow, but that'll determine whether I get through this video and do more than one character. As long as I'm sitting still and I'm not like bending up and down, up and down, up and down constantly, I do a lot better, but I still get winded. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, don't worry about that. Uh-oh. Did I raise my template already? Uh-oh. Well, that could put a damper in things, but that's okay. We don't really need it. I made a little, you really just need to cut a thing. It doesn't have to be, you don't need a template for it. Just cut like a little, like an oval-y type of thing and cut it off flat at the top out of white or black, whatever color cardstock. You're not going to see it. It's to give it some stability. You need some green fabric. And I've got this green fabric, and it was part of a fabric that was given to me from Angela. And I'm going to keep the little flowers out of it, but I'm using the green fabric because it's a good green for this to make my little, and since I want to make it out of this, I'm going to try to make it, I'm going to cut out a square of this and try to make it so that it's no bigger than that, so that it can fit on that with using this piece of fabric. So basically, you're just going to make like an oval with a flat top, just like that. And that's a little tall, so we can cut off some of his head. Perfect. That's all you need. See, you don't need any special cutters, any dies. You don't need any of that. I like to do things simple. Keep it simple. That's my motto. Keep it simple. Now I'm going to take some fabric scissors and I'm just going to trace it. And these are little embellishments that you can use to decorate your Halloween cards. You can use them in your Halloween journals. You can put a magnet on the back of it and use it for, you know, on your fridge for Halloween. You could decorate your kids' like school lunches with them, you know, like just to be cute. Put one on your kids' lunch bag or what have you. Okay, and so I made it just slightly bigger, very slightly bigger than the black cardstock, just in case it, you know, wants to show through, and it might still even. Did I do it right? Either way, we'll just don't forget this part is not going to show, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, making a mess. Okay, so now we're just going to glue this down with some, I'm just using tacky glue. And sometimes it comes through, and I notice that it does when it comes through, it can leave like little marks. So you can, I don't know what other way to do it, because without it doing that, other than, you know what we could try? Let's try some double-sided tape or glue stick. Like, as long as you use like the extreme glue stick and really put a lot on, I bet you that would do it. Let's try it. Let's see if we can do it with a glue stick. I know that I was able to put on that other stuff in that little journal I made for Janet, I was able to use glue stick to hold the tulle on, remember? And so I'm thinking this is, if it's a thin fabric, and that's where we have the problem with the glue showing through, is the thin fabrics anyway. So if you're using a thicker fabric, then you don't need to do this. You can use regular Aleene's. But if you're using a thin fabric, you should be able to put it on without an issue. Yeah, look at that. It did stick to it. Perfect. See, as long as you have the good glue sticks, one of the real sticky kind like the Extreme or the Ranger, you're good. It is definitely going to stick. Okay, good. That makes things a lot easier, because I noticed that with the thinner fabrics, sometimes the Aleene's or even Fabri-Tac will definitely come through. I've noticed that, because you can't spread it as thin as you could spread Aleene's, but I noticed that the Fabri-Tac or the Aleene's will come through a thin fabric. So you're better off using either A, a thicker fabric, or B, a thinner glue, or a drier glue like this, or you can use tape too. If you use tape, it would work. Because if it's thin, it'll hold it. Okay, so we've got that taken care of. I'm just going to, there's a little bit of excess here. I'm going to cut just to even it out a little bit. And now, if your fabric frays a little bit, you can use that stuff Fray Check, which I've got right here, or you can use some a little bit of watered down Mod Podge or something, just to in some sort of little squeeze bottle that you can just go along the edge. And unfortunately, this stuff might show a little bit when it's dry as well. But if you have it all the way around, it's not going to be as noticeable. But it'll keep it from fraying. Now, that's okay on the Scarecrow, because obviously, the Scarecrow, see how it might show up when it dries? I'm not sure. We're going to use it as an experiment. If it does, we might have to cut it off, but we'll see. Let's see if it'll show up. Let me dry it a little bit with the heat gun before I mess with it. Nope, the Fray Check dries, and it dries clear, so you can't see it. Good deal, like that. Okay, I wasn't sure if it would or not, and that was from before. So I shouldn't have any more frays. Yeah, it's kind of stiff on the edges. That's good. Okay, good, good, good. Now, for the hair, you can do whatever you want. If you want to cut out of black paper, like a little, like something like a little... like a little hair piece. I don't know, I'm not good at stuff like that, but you know what I mean. You could draw out and cut a little hair piece, maybe with a little sideburns or something. You could do that. Cut yourself a piece of hair, whatever you want. This right here is this stuff that you get at the dollar store. So basically a lot of these monsters are like, have a lot of dollar store things in them. But you know, dollar store creepy cloth decoration. And what I did was I took some of it like so, like this will probably work fine, and I just kind of created this little hairdo. Obviously I'm not going to leave it flowing like that. I could if it was a girl Frankenstein. If I was doing the bride, oh, I should have done the Bride of Frankenstein. Maybe we'll have to do a Bride of Frankenstein. But anyway, if you kind of get it in there, and now you're thinking like, oh, it's going to be like falling apart. Well, this is where my, there it is. I take, in a spray bottle, I take Elmer's glue and water, so it's liquidy, and then I add a little varnish to it, And you can just use Elmer's glue and water, really. It turns into like a, what's that stuff called? The paper mache stuff, you know, the glue that you use for paper mache. It kind of turns it into that. Okay, and so what I did was I pulled it back off of here, and then I gotta refix this. Sop that up. And I just wet it with this. I didn't clean my sprayer well before I used it last. And then spray it on the back. And like, we're going to spray that really sopping wet so that it stays as one good little piece there, now that I've made a mess. Or you could just, you don't have to put it in a spray bottle, is what I'm getting at. You can just take a paintbrush that's soaked in the Elmer's glue and water and just keep dousing it until it's, you know, nice and wet. Because the wetter the better. So then you can shape it, you know, shape it as best you can. You know, because you want it to be nice and, you know, not dripping, but soaked in there good. And then you dry it or you let it dry, either one, and it'll turn out hard. Like, it's hard. And I probably should have done this prior and had one ready, but I don't, so sorry about that. But we're going to dry it a bit so that it can be glued on. And the glue turns it like a gray, like a whitish gray color, but it'll go back to black after it dries. Alright, just enough to make it whole so it's not going to like fall apart. So, and as it dries more, like initially you're going to think, oh, that's not as hard as the one that she showed, but it will get really hard when you let it dry for like a couple hours. So as long as you can pick it up and put it on right now, then it's fine. So I'm going to cut it. You might want to cut off any straggles that'll hang in the face like that. And basically you just take hot glue, which of course my hot glue is not ready either. Great. Life is good. I'll put it on with some of this. It'll work fine. Sorry, I'm not very prepared. Not prepared today. What else is new? Okay. I'll stick that on just fine. Okay, so there's his little hair. So, now while my heat gun is heating up, I'm going to show you how I made the little bolts coming out of his neck. So, if you watched the Happy Mail video that I put up earlier, I was talking about how Elizabeth sent me something and she used the foil tape or muffler tape, and she used it to make covers of a journal. And what did I do with it? Did I lose it now? Oh, there it is. Duh. Anyway, you can buy this. It's not real expensive, and it's just basically foil tape, and you can take a piece of it, take a piece of black cardstock. You know, it doesn't have to be very big or special or anything, and because you only need a couple little things, and you will take the backing off. Like so. And this stuff's really sticky. And you put it on there, and it's a little wrinkly when you put it on, but if you take your bone folder or something and go over it, it smooths it out perfectly. So there's you go. There's you go. I don't know what that was. And then I cut off the excess from the back. Because even though you can fold it over, it'll stick better when you go to glue it down if you have paper on the backing. And now you can just draw yourself a couple of little, where's my pencil? You can draw it with like white gel pen or a white pen or pencil, whatever. And just draw your little, leaving yourself a little stem to glue. And draw yourself your little things. And then take some fussy cut scissors and are these big enough? I didn't even check. Probably not. Actually, let me do it. Let me do bigger ones. I just realized they were a bit small. There we go. Sorry. I don't know why I made them so small. Okay, and now we can cut these out real quick. And how did I end up cutting them off of the only section of the paper that didn't have foil on it? Oh my goodness. Like, I seriously did. I cut them out of this section over here and not this section over here. Wow. Go ahead, you can laugh at me. Let's try that again, shall we? Totally, go ahead and laugh. I'm an idiot. Anywho whatsoever, there we go. It's foil on one side. That's all that matters. Good grief. Okay, there's one bolt. Oh, that's right. I did end up gluing it on the top end anyway. I forgot that I didn't end up gluing it on the paper side anyway. I was going to glue it on top, like on the front of the Frankenstein, but I ended up gluing it from behind because I liked it better. I totally forgot I did that. So it doesn't matter if you bend over the foil or not. Don't matter. Okay. And I have enough for 2 more bolts for another one. Okay, so anyway, now I just want to look at these and kind of fix them a little bit because this one's way bigger than the other one. So, I mean, they don't have to be perfect, just as long as they're similar. Like the first 2 are definitely far from perfect. Yeah, that's better. Okay, good enough. So then you can choose to do it off the side out of the front like that, or you can go from behind, which is what I do. I'm just going to cut that a little. And since I don't have a neck on my Frankenstein, I did it where like his ears would be kind of. And I think I just used hot glue for this. Yeah, I used hot glue, which we're going to find out in a minute if the hot glue is ready. Actually, I'll do that now. I'll see if it's even glued. And we'll stick on our ears or bolts. And I just put it on the tip. And then stuck it back here. And I pushed it against my table so that it would adhere. And when that's cool enough, it'll come right off. There we go. Okay, and the next one. Alright, and there we've got our 2 little ear bolts. And you can put them as high or as low as you want on his face, depending on your preference. I mean, mine, I got one that's down a little, one that's up a little. Who cares? It's fine. You know, it's cute. It's supposed to be just a cutesy little embellishment. It doesn't have to be, like, massively perfect. And then we need the buttons for the eyes, which I use 2 black buttons. You can also use 2 pieces of black paper. You can use whatever you want. It does not have to be buttons. If you don't have buttons, I'm sure you can improvise with something, anything else. Brads, a couple of black brads would work. You know, really, you can really just use anything. Oh, here's a black gem. Let's see if I have another one of those. No, these are 2 sequins. Let's try these sequins. Oh yeah, they'll work. We'll use 2 black sequins. Like, you can find anything. I really like these little chicken feed boxes. This is one that Angela gave me. And I really like it because it's got like a little... Why won't this go down? Well, anyway, it's got a variety of things in it, so... Let's see, I wonder if I can get these on with some hot glue. Ooh, there's a couple of them together. Let me make sure there's only one. Okay. They're big enough I should be able to use hot glue without an issue. Okay. That one kind of almost melted it a little bit. Got to be careful of that. But overall, it's fine. I don't have wires stuck under here. What's going on? Got constant wires in my way and stuff. I got a little hot glue on there. Let me scrape it off. Good Lord. Oh wow. I could stick another one over it if I need to. Yeah, I might do that. Let's stick another one over it because that one got kind of messy because of the hot glue sticking out, which is the one thing I hate about hot glue, and especially this hot glue. This hot glue sucks. Okay, so there we go. We got his eyes. Now, I didn't put a nose on the Frankenstein because I don't even remember if Frankenstein had a nose. I just put a mouth because I thought you really didn't need a nose. And I used just string. This is just like some weird string. Just string. You can use yarn, anything you want. And I just made like a little W. And this is the trickiest part of the whole thing, was to get this string to like cooperate the way I wanted it to. Because it was a little bit of a pain in the butt. So, to get it to stay how you wanted it. And because the string, like, yarn would probably be best because this string just does not like to bend. So it was very much of a pain in the butt to get this to actually bend the way I wanted it to. So yarn would probably even be better. Anything a little bit less stiff. This is a little bit stiff. It gets there. It gets the job done. Stop it. But it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to do it, to be honest. So, very cute, very cute. And that was it. It's as simple as that. It's not even as hard as the Scarecrow. But it's like a young Frankenstein because it looks kind of like a youngster with the hair. Kind of looks like a young Frankenstein, but it's really cute. I love it. And I think I am going to end here for now, but I'll do a part 3 with the mummy and then a part 4, and we'll put the card together that I want to put together, hopefully. So I hope you enjoyed this. And this is so cute. These are really cute. And yeah, then we've got our Scarecrow, and we got our mummy, and a whole cast of little characters that we can use for card making, embellishing, and what have you. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you do want to see the mummy, give this video a thumbs up, And make sure you leave me a comment below and let me know which character is your favorite. Do you like the Scarecrow, the Mummy, the Frankenstein? What do you like? Let me know. I'm curious. And stay tuned because we will be doing this one. And it's going to be cute and you'll love it. And I hope to speak to you guys soon. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed and check out the links in the description. I have links to my Etsy, links to my Patreon, links to... There might even be links on where you can get some of the things I use to make these. So that might be helpful to you. In the last one where I did the Scarecrow, there are links in the description on where to get some things to use to make the Scarecrow. So I'll try to put some links on where you can get some things to use to make the Frankenstein. And well, this one I'll put the links in the other one. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you do what you love and love what you do and be nice to people. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.